lead with a count of 2-2. There goes a runner. Swung and struck out to throw. He is out a double play. And so Lean struck out, and Berryhill threw Gary Reedus out. A double play on the strikeout.
High fastball and perfect throw by Damon Berryhill. They cut down Reedus for the second time this year.
Do you remember in St. Louis, you're plugging the great movie you made, The Winning Team, in which you played the role of Grover Cleveland Alexander, and you stopped into the booth there, and you did 2 innings on that afternoon.
Yes.
And you Pirates, who are sure to finish second this year.
We've already made out a score sheet for you. You're up to date with 2 outs in the first inning.
All right.
Don't worry about it. When you start next inning, when the Cubs come to bat, everything will be ready for you. The pitch. A bouncing ball. Sandberg has it over to first. And no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go in the bottom of the first. No score. All right. Carey and Steve Salm back at Wrigley Field, and it's with a great deal of pleasure that I introduce to you the President of the United States, taking over the role of a play-by-play announcer, Ronald Reagan, at the mic.
Well, Harry, thank you very much. You know, in a few months I'm going to be out of work, and I thought I might as well audition.
Well, I'm afraid that you got this job anytime you want it, Mr. President.
All right.
Webster will lead off.
Webster, and batting left-handed, of course. Up at the plate, Rick Sutcliffe out on the mound. He's getting a sign from
Zimmer, the man.
Oh, yes, yes.
Popeye, we call him.
Just met him down there in the dugout a little while ago.
Great fellow.
Comes the pitch.
I tell you,
I think that was outside to him.
Mr.
Wow.
President, here's a young man, good-looking enough to be a movie star and maybe someday president. Ryan Sandberg.
Well. And he fouls one over to the left, around third base. Oh, yes, I met him down there, too.
Jim Leland, the Pirate manager. What did he say to you?
He was very, very nice, and said he wanted to meet me. And there goes a high ball out to left field, left and center field, both going over after it, and center field gets it for one hand. So I completed and had him foul it. And then I thought I'd take a chance, and because I knew at no time there were a dozen stations broadcasting the same game, and I didn't want to lose the audience, so I had him foul again. And then I had him foul, just miss a home run by a foot. And then I had 2 kids get in a fight over the ball that went over back of first base. And finally, I'm really beginning to sweat. And then my fellow on the other side of the glass started typing. So I figured it was all right. I got another ball on the way to the plate. And the note he handed me said, jerk. And up at bat, Glenn Wilson, and he's right-handed. Comes the pitch, and it's a foul. Back into the stands, and a little scramble for the ball back there. Yes.
We're looking at beautiful Wrigley Field, Mr. President, and this is the first of the Fan Appreciation Weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 3 final games of the season.
This ballpark is unusual in its beauty, but that was Mr. Wrigley's belief that baseball should be an outdoor sort of a picnic atmosphere.
Well, he was way ahead of so many of the other owners by allowing radio broadcasts and television broadcasts for free right off the bat.
Yeah. All right. Sutcliffe on the mound again.
I think he made a great producer, director, Arnie.
And that's a ground ball taken by second over to short for out. And I believe it's
double play.
Double play.
4-6-3.
2 out.
Well turned over by Ryan Sandberg and Angel Salazar. Salazar in the lineup again. Sean Dunston still nursing a little bruise. Good pivot by Salazar around the bag, and you can see DeStefano can't get a piece of him on the pivot.
Prince is out of our neck of the woods. He's from Kankakee, Illinois. 2 out, a runner at third. A hot day in the beautiful Wrigley Field this afternoon.
Here comes the pitch. And it's a strike, swinging.
Arnie says it's the first time we've had 2 guys in the booth with a tie the entire season. He thinks you're adding a little class to the broadcast.
You should have seen the way I dressed when I was broadcasting. That's strike 2.
2-2. Thank you very much.
Well, I know I have to move along now. The job I presently have is calling me. But not for long.
Good to see you.
Well, good to see you, and thank you for letting me sit in here and do this.
Thank you for coming in.
It's been a pleasure. It really has.
Tell them I got a lot of money at that mercantile. Tell them to make me some dough down there, will you?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, thank you all.
We go into the bottom of the second.